she serves the fame because it's not for everyone.
You can make anything spectacular at home. Sure, it helps to optimize how your music will sound, but even if the mixing isn't perfect and some vocal recordings are a little bit clippy, you can still pull together something that is catchy, fun, and glowing with passion. Besides, not everyone has the dough, you know? So here's About You, an EP by Radio Kid, who hit me up a few weeks ago to give this a go, and as it turns out, quite fortunately, it was worth a review, wasn't it? I mean, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? It'd be a bit rubbish if I spent the whole review just going, yeah, it's alright, yeah. Radio Kid takes a lot of cues from soul and hip-hop fusions, although that definitely isn't all that it offers, with Love Me being an intimate, summery pop jam with some adorable glockenspiels. And Radio Kid showcases himself to be a pretty capable singer. I'd actually hazard a guess and say that Radio Kid heads towards the territory of the singer-songwriter. These little intimate moments are heartwarming and probably some of the more potent moments on the EP. However, while I absolutely love the production on Let's Get Lost, sexily woven with saxophones and chiptune arpeggios, once Radio Kid's vocals come onto the track to sing the hook, things just start to sink a little bit, as in my volume level has to sink a little bit.
I'm with you, and you with me. We be getting turned up, baby, can't you see?
Because his vocal track is so loud compared to everything else. I actually reckon I love the way that the vocoder allows his voice to glide across the saxophones like Kanye branded dandelion seeds, but it's just so overpowering, it actually peaks. The vocal peaks are what makes this a tricky song to adjust to, which is a shame because I genuinely love the rest of the track when he starts rapping. He has this charisma that I'd love to hear more down to earth and smooth talking verses from. You can tell he's having a lot of fun with each track, and that's really the important part for upbeat cuts like With You and Forever Young. It bodes really catchily on the brass-led Forever Young, which does indeed borrow its ending melody from the famous song of the same name. Its beat sounds like a fanfare and it leads the way for very charismatic and bold rhymes about hoping to keep the same energy that you tend to have in your youth. It's such a promising opener, and yet it's still not the best example of that kind of energy that's on the EP. With You is actually my favourite thing that's on the EP, with a gorgeous hook that is backed by a sliver of chiptune melody and a beat with more bounce than a Bella Danger on a space hopper. Dating Game finishes the EP with the slowest track on the album, and that gives way to the most emotionally sensitive moment of Confession from Radio Kid, where he recounts the difficulty of keeping level relationships, quote unquote how it's hard to find love because you keep messing up. I wish these observations were a little bit more profoundly put than just kind of blatantly stating pretty obvious statements we've heard on Reddit message boards multiple times in the past. Okay, that's a little bit harsh, I'm just saying that for the gags. It's not even that I disagree with his viewpoints on the topics, I just wish they were put a little bit better. Creatively, descriptively, viscerally, but I guess that just comes with artistic progression really. He also reincarnates a Craig David song in the second verse, but man again, the production and the way Radio Kid rides the instrumental vocally is so potent that I end up enjoying it at least a tiny bit anyways. I think the most relieving thing about listening to this EP is that there's so much good stuff here to build on. Although my current score is a pretty solid 6 out of 10, I get excited just thinking about how the concepts for songs like Let's Get Lost and Love Me could become 8 out of 10s in the future, you know?